Hello, welcome to another episode of In the Trenches with Gang Green. I'm your host, Bubbs. Today is Tuesday, July 30th. Hopefully, everybody is having a good day so far today. This is episode 339 of the In the Trenches with Gang Green podcast. I thank you, as always, for joining me. We've got another New York Jets training camp recap video to get into today. I was out at Florham Park, one Jets drive this afternoon, seeing Jets practice in person for the third time this summer. And I have all of my in-person takeaways ready to give it out to all of you guys. Apologies for a little bit of the later episode here today. Had some things to get done here before we hopped on to the podcast to break down day number 6 of New York Jets training camp and the second padded practice this afternoon, and a lot of takeaways, a lot to discuss from an in-person perspective as I was out there once again today at One Jets Drive. Now, before we begin, let me tell you about our podcast partners, starting with our friends over at SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an app that delivers tickets from all over the internet and puts it into one spot to make it easier for you, the buyer. What makes SeatGeek so great is you know what deal you are getting on each ticket you select. They rate each ticket from 0 to 10. Green means good, yellow means okay, red means stay away. So you know if you are getting a good deal, and you know if you're making a good decision or not on your ticket. Plus, my viewers, use promo code BUBSONSPORTS for $20 off your purchase. Click the link in the description down below. That'll take you to download the SeatGeek app. And when you're out there at checkout, use promo code BUBSONSPORTS for $20 off. This is anything, not just Jets tickets, not just NFL, not just sports, plays, concerts, shows. If you can buy a ticket for an event, SeatGeek has it. Promo code BUBSONSPORTS for $20 off your purchase. Also, my friends at Huga House, you've seen me rocking my Huga House hat all the time on the show. If you want the hat that I wear, or any of the hats that Aaron Rodgers wears, even Shane Gillis, Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Conklin, many athletes and celebrities rock the Huga House vintage-inspired hats. Click the link in the description down below. That'll take you to the Huga House store. Use promo code BUBS for 15% off your purchase and get yourself some Huga House swag, the same swag that QB1 Aaron Rodgers rocks all the time. Now let's get into training camp day number 6. So we talked about this yesterday. Days 1 through, I would really say Wednesday through Friday was 100% dominated by the offense. The first 3 practices were dominated. The practice that I was in attendance for on Thursday, the Garrett Wilson connection was in full swing, and the offense looked smooth. Saturday was a little bit of a different story. I would say it was more of a tie. I thought both sides did some good things. I thought both sides went after each other a little bit. I thought both sides had some good plays, had some good moments. Neither side dominated. I thought it was a pretty even day. But the last 2 days, it has been pretty much all defense. Monday, yesterday, was probably the ugliest practice for the New York Jets from an offensive perspective. And then today, while I don't think it now, I'll be fully transparent. I wasn't there, of course, yesterday. I could only see in person what I saw today. But from the sounds of it, today didn't seem as bad as yesterday, where yesterday it seemed terrible. There was penalties, there was drops, there was bad snaps. Today, there was still some bad snaps. Today, there was still some miscommunications, but there weren't many penalties. There weren't a whole lot of drops. It's just a lot of, it feels like still knocking off the rust, still trying to build chemistry, still trying to pick up the offense, not so much learn the offense, but kind of master the offense, master the system, master the scheme. And you're seeing some mistakes, typical mistakes that you will see throughout training camp. This is the time to have mistakes. This is the time to grow, learn, work with each other, build chemistry with each other. It's not going to be pretty every single day. And I always say this to the Jets fans out there that are panicking because the offense had 2 bad days, to just calm down. Let's also remember that they're going up against each other. It's not a bad thing. While from a entertainment standpoint, and being in attendance, you would love to see Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers connect all day for 7 receptions and 3 touchdowns and see them light it up. You would love to see that. But it's also still a positive to see that after 3 days of kind of getting carved up, the defense is pushing back a little bit. And through 2 days, the defense has been better than the offense. That's still a good thing. We still also have to realize that this defense is a top 5 defense in the NFL. The Jets offense isn't going to be perfect every single day. And throughout camp, kind of a 40-day thing, it would not be a good thing either to see the offense get carved or to see the defense get carved up for 40 days in a row. So let's pump the brakes a little bit on the panic on the offense or, oh, the Jets offense looks terrible. Pump the brakes. It's 6 days of practice. I would still say the Jets have won day offensively 3 times. I would say there was 1 tie on Saturday, and definitely the last 2 days go to the defense. So still through the first 6 days, the offense has the upper hand. But let's also give some credit to the defense. It's not a terrible thing that the defense is showing out a little bit, impressing a little bit, dominating a little bit, performing a little bit, giving the offense some fits. It's not a bad thing. They're going up against each other. There's always going to be positives and negatives. So I just want to start kind of calming everybody down that, oh no, the offense, 2 bad days in July. Oh no, the season's over. This is terrible. Now, certainly are there some things that need to be cleaned up 100%. The snaps, it's a concern because that's happened 6 straight days now. And that's a problem. And they need to be cleaned up 100%. But Joe Tittman's got the rest of training camp, joint practices, all this time, all these reps to clean that up. He's got a month. If he can't get it cleaned up in a month, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe he's not the guy. He's got all the talent. There should be no issue cleaning up these snapping issues with a month left in camp, with joint practices looming, all these good reps for him to have to adjust some of these failures he's having from a snapping perspective. But the defense won the day again, and I just want to start by trying to calm everybody down that it's not the end of the world. No, the offense hasn't looked good the last 2 days. It doesn't mean they're going to go 6-11 this year and they're going to be the worst offense in football. Let's calm down, okay? Calm down. It's okay. No need to panic. It's July 30th. We're okay. It's the summertime. It's supposed to be positive. We're supposed to be happy. Defense wins the day, give them their props. Offense wins the day to give them their props. Let's give the defense some credit. So let's break it down. Let's take a deep dive into practice this afternoon. They did a total of 5 sets of team drills, or I guess 7-on-7 drills, 4 sets of 11-on-11s. Obviously, the 1 set of 7-on-7s. They started with 7-on-7, so that is where we will start. Rodgers' first pass of the day was unfortunately a Lazard drop. So not a great start for Lazard, obviously, after having a rough practice yesterday where it went right through his arms and into the arms of, right through his hands and into the arms of Chuck Clark for the first interception of camp on Aaron Rodgers. He started the day with a drop. Good, very catchable ball just went through his hands, so that was unfortunate. But then later on, 2 plays later, Rodgers found Lazard for 20-25 yards down the sideline. A really nice catch, a really nice throw. Perfect ball, perfect catch. So kind of a 50-50 start there by Lazard in 7-on-7. Had the drop, but bounced back a play later and had a really nice 20-25 yard play down the sideline where it was just a perfect execution from a Rodgers ball placement and then obviously the catch as well on the sideline by Lazard. As for Tyrod and 7-on-7 drills, got Corley involved in a nice 5-yard slant. Corley showed off some of the speed, some of the route running there. Hopefully, continue to get a little bit more crisp. The Jets are clearly trying to get him involved a lot more. So it's clear with Gibson out that the Jets are really trying to work him in, which is good to see. Him getting a lot of these reps. It's definitely good for him. Tyrod, then incomplete pass to Malik Taylor. Taylor almost had it. It was almost a heck of a catch. Incomplete. And in the next play, Tyrod ends up finding Malik Taylor anyway for 20 yards. So the Tyrod to Taylor connection has been really, really strong so far through the start of camp. And Malik Taylor continued his impressive camp today, starting there on 7-on-7 drills. And then there was one really nice play by Brownlee. Peasley threw it. It was a terrible pass. Probably it was a wobbly duck and it was underthrown. Brownlee was able to readjust himself and ended up making a really nice catch on Jarek Bernard Converse. So really nice adjustment by Brownlee. Was a bad pass, but a very good catch. And Brownlee here, after kind of a slow couple days, has really picked it up. Had a good day on Saturday. From all accounts, seemed pretty good, decent yesterday. I don't know how much he got involved yesterday, but good day Saturday. Really good day today. From all accounts here, Brownlee has started to pick it up a little bit after a little bit of a slow start through the first few practices. On to the first set of team drills. Rogers tried to get it to Malachi Corley. Was almost a great catch. It looked like he was out of bounds. Looked like he bobbled it, but you kind of saw the potential in that play. Rogers gets it, steps back, obviously just drops back in the pocket. Corley deep, down the sideline, showing off the speed, getting open. Was a great play and almost had it. It looked like it was bobbled and it looked like he was out of bounds. There wasn't any official wording on if he was in or yet, but it looked like he was out of bounds. But almost a great play. And again, the Jets clearly trying to work plays around Corley, getting him involved. Getting those first team reps is crucial for him. Working on his route running, improving his route running, trying to get him to run a variety of routes to strengthen his route tree. All these things you've seen over the last couple of days ever since Gibson went down, which while it's unfortunate, it opens up the door for a guy like Malachi Corley. And then there was also in the first set of team drills, Rogers, a few plays later, got it to Garrett Wilson for about 5-7 yards in the flat. A really nice move after the catch by Garrett Wilson to pretty much put Brandon Cotterington on ice skates. Garrett Wilson got it, quickly cut left back upfield, and Cotterington just bit. I mean, that's not too surprising. Your best receiver getting away from kind of your third team corner in a way, but still a nice play from Garrett Wilson. And Rogers and him weren't always on the same page today, still talking a lot. There wasn't a whole lot of targets to go Garrett Wilson's way, but those were one of them, and he made a nice move after the catch. So those are the first set of drills, 7-on-7, and then the team drills. First set of team drills, there was not a whole lot from a Tyrod Peasley perspective, more so just a couple of those Rogers plays. Now, more sets of team drills. Rogers was able to get it to Lazard across the middle, and this was one of the most impressive plays of practice today. It wasn't that it was a 50-yard bomb downfield. While the highlight of practice today was Tyrod unloading one to Malik Taylor and drive the field period, which we'll get to here soon. But Rogers to Lazard on this 15-yard across the middle play was just, in the moment when you're there, you just grow so much appreciation for Aaron Rodgers, seeing him make that type of throw. Jermaine Johnson was coming screaming off the edge. And Rodgers, you could tell, recognizes it, could feel the pressure, and just throws an absolute laser to Lazard. For a guy to go through his progressions, remain calm, and be able to have the confidence, knowing that he's under pressure, knowing that Jermaine Johnson, sensing the pressure, to have the confidence to step up in the pocket and deliver a laser to Lazard in tight coverage across the middle, just makes you appreciate Aaron Rodgers and what he can do. And that was one of the nicest plays of the day today. Not the flashiest play, but it's just one of those plays where you just have so much appreciation for what Rodgers can do. Senses the pressure, steps up, lasers one to Lazard, across the middle, boom. Majority of quarterbacks, that is probably a sack or a inaccurate pass or rolling out of the pocket, trying to extend the play, throw it out of bounds. For Rodgers, senses the pressure, steps up, finds an open receiver across the middle, and an absolute dot. Very nice play. One of the highlights for what was overall a rough day for the offense. He then got Lazard again involved for about a 7 to 8 yard kind of quick throw. Again, just getting the ball, quickly getting it out to his guys, letting them make some plays. There was also one play that Peasley made during these team drills where got it to Cohen. play was kind of dead. In a real game scenario, Peasley might have been sacked. But Cohen got it. It was kind of just a emergency kind of just screen route. Like Cohen was just standing on the outside. They gave it to him as kind of a dump off, an emergency dump off. And Cohen took it and probably got 7-8 yards out of it. A good chance, though, in a real game scenario, not that Peasley's going to be playing for the Jets this year, other than the preseason. In a real game situation, Peasley probably would have been sacked or would have thrown it away, but good to see Cohen still kind of provide some of that shiftiness, and 2 plays now this camp where they've looked dead and he's turned them into something. So now here's some of the drive the field period of camp. Rodgers was able to get the ball to Conklin on a 10-yard flat, beat Quincy, which was a nice play by Conklin. Good to see Rodgers get the ball out quickly. And then later on in team drive the field period, got the ball to Brees. It was kind of like a wheel route. Brees took off, exploded for about 20 to 30 yards. It was probably about a 4-yard pass, and Brees did the rest. It reminded me a little bit of the Brees Hall play 2 years ago against the Dolphins, where it was a wheel route. They threw it to Brees. Brees, about a 5-yard wheel route, he caught it and took it upfield all the way down to the 1. It was kind of similar to that play. Give it to Brees and let him do the rest. Similar to the Giants last year. Give him the ball, dump off, let him do the rest. Similar play, 20, 30 yards downfield. And then got Garrett involved in the flat, and then there was a miscommunication on 4th down. Rodgers threw it to pretty much the end zone to the pylon. Garrett broke earlier, about probably at the 4 or 5 yard line, kind of came back, turned around, and the ball was over his head. So it seemed like a miscommunication. Again, there was a lot of that today where it wasn't so much, and I've said that. Look, the defense has looked good, and the defensive line specifically today was getting after it. A lot of really good things from the defensive line today, especially some of the depth guys, which we'll get to here soon. But a lot of it's just the offense hurting themselves. It's a lot of what it is. And it's kind of typical training camp struggles. It's the trying to build chemistry. It's the language and understanding the plays and understanding, route concepts and running the right routes. And it was just that was just your age-old. Garrett Wilson thought he was running one route, and Rodgers thought he was doing something else. And that happens. That'll probably happen at times during the regular season. There's always those miscommunications where a quarterback thinks a receiver's just running, let's say, a vertical, and instead he comes back. Like, it happens. It is what it is. A lot of those miscommunications, there was even a play where Rodgers tried to get it to Brownlee, and there was something Rodgers clearly didn't like. They gave Brownlee some first-team reps. He targeted him, and Brownlee didn't catch it, but it just seemed like Rodgers was upset about something, or not so much upset, but talking to Brownlee about something, about, whether he's about a route concept or what he did wrong on that play, why he didn't get to the ball in time, why it was incomplete. And you just see a lot of that, and they're working through all that, and it's understandable. And that's why I don't necessarily panic. And that's what I felt most of today was. It wasn't so much the drops. It was just more the miscommunications, a couple missed throws, routes that probably could have been sharper. The Garrett Wilson play where Rodgers thinks he's going to the end zone, Garrett Wilson stops short, those type of things. And that'll get worked out. As for Tyrod and drive the field period, had the beautiful play to Malik Taylor. 50-yard bomb. That's like the second one. Tyrod to Taylor has been beautiful. There was a 50-yard bomb on Friday that Taylor caught for a touchdown. And then today he caught a 50-yard bomb. Now, unfortunately, after that, the drive stalled. I think they went 3 and out after that. And then there was a bad snap that Tyrod fumbled, or not fumbled. It was just went over his head, and it was gone. So that ended the drive. A couple of drives were like another thing too today. A couple of these drives were going good. For example, the 2-minute drill we'll get to here too. The first team offense 2-minute drill was going good. And then all of a sudden there was an incomplete pass to Brownlee where there was a miscommunication. And then there was a miss to Lazard. and then tried to get it to Garrett. It was incomplete, and that was it, which we'll get to that more in depth here in a second. But a lot of these, even the drive to field period, there would be some positive momentum. You make 2-3 good plays in a row, and then you take one giant step back, whether it was a bad snap or a pressure or a drop, not necessarily a drop, or miscommunication, whatever the case may be. That was similar here. Beautiful play to Malik Taylor, puts them in prime position to go down and score. A couple incomplete passes, couple plays that go nowhere, bad snap, boom, drives over. There was a nice play that Tyrod did have in a second set of drive the field period. Had a nice pocket, 15, 20 yards, or a nice pocket into the defense. Brownlee found a pocket in the D. Tyrod delivered it to him. I really was impressed. Brownlee was flying all over the place. It was one of the, lone bright spots for the offense this afternoon. So here was the 2-minute drill. I logged every single play from the first team and the second team offense's 2-minute drill. They started, I believe, with 51 seconds left. So here was every play. For Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, it started with a PBU by DJ Reed. They were talking to each other a lot after the drive the field period. And the first play, Rodgers tried to get it to Garrett. Incomplete, DJ Reed, 2nd down and 10. Next play, Rodgers finds Garrett Wilson across the middle. Almost the same exact spot, except this time, Garrett was open. 20 yards, really nice grab, 1st down. Then there was a pressure. Rodgers throws it away, and then he got a hard count to get Sauce to jump. So they moved up 5 yards. Kind of a funny exchange there. Sauce didn't think he jumped. Rodgers was, laughing jokingly, was pointing at him, telling him to move the ball, telling him that he got him. They ended up moving the ball up 5 yards, so kind of a funny exchange there. And then Lazard made a really, really nice one-handed grab in which he kind of sacrificed his body. Reached out, one-handed grab, got absolutely crushed, went down 5-7 yards, took a massive hit, and had to sit out a couple plays, took a knee on the side, just got the wind knocked out of him, seemed okay. Then there was a spike, and then that's where the drive derailed, like I said. He had an incompletion to Brownlee where they had to talk things over afterwards. And then missed to Lazard versus Sauce. Sauce was all over him. And then he threw it to Garrett Wilson, incomplete. 4th and 15, drive was over. Now for the second team offense, 2-minute drill. Similar situation. Play call dead on the first play, then incompletion in traffic across the middle. Then there was off the hands of Corley on a diving attempt. And then Jarek Bernard-Converse picked it off for the interception on the last play. Practice, Braden McGregor also had some pressure on the play. So Tyrod kind of sensed it, threw it, forced it, 4th down, and ended practice. So first team offense, drive was going good. It stalled. Second team offense, they didn't make any progress, literally. They didn't even really gain a yard. So rough 2-minute drill there overall. That's your quarterbacks. That's kind of your offensive plays, your highlights there. From a running back perspective, Brees had 2 really good runs early in practice today. The first one was for about 6 yards on the first play, and then had another run for a 1st down. So picked up a 1st down in 2 plays. I would say the first one was for about 6 yards. Second one was probably for about 4 or 5. So Brees Hall by himself picked up a 1st down early in practice on 2 runs. So that was good to see. He did have a fumble on the first play of drive the field. Clemens ended up recovering it. Rodgers pitched to the Brees. Brees was already thinking about running and ended up fumbling it. Izzy had a nice 7 to 8 yard run with the second team. And Valladay had a couple really, really nice runs today during drive the field. And in the biggest story, I think, is Braylon Allen. I mean, this guy's a monster. He had a couple really nice runs today. There was a really nice run that he had, probably about 10, 12 yards on the sideline. And he has shown this a couple times during camp so far. His ability to bounce to the outside, get outside, and just explode and reach another level and hit another gear. His speed, his ability to get to the outside and turn it up a notch is really, really underrated. Excellent runs from him so far. Just that downhill running style, providing a lot of speed, providing some punch. Braylon Allen's been very, very impressive. I thought all the running backs today were pretty good. especially Valladay, one of the under-the-radar guys, roster bubble guys that I thought looked pretty smooth today. And it's much easier to gauge the running backs as well in pads. As for the wide receivers, like I said, Malik Taylor got some first-team reps. He actually went against Sauce. Sauce ended up breaking it up. Garrett Wilson wasn't involved a ton. Him and Rodgers continue to talk a lot, trying to get, on the same page with a couple of these miscommunications. Lazard, I thought, had a solid day after the drop. Corley getting a lot of reps. A lot of the design plays for him. It seems like they're trying to get him involved. The other day, they had him in the backfield. Today, they've got him, motioning a lot, lining up in the slot, doing some different things with him. So definitely good to see. Brownlee, I feel like, has put together a couple nice practices in a row. And there's a lot of pre-snap motion, which is something certainly we saw more of this year than we saw last year, even during camp last year, with the receivers specifically. Offensive line, kind of a mixed bag. I thought Fashanu today was excellent. I watched a lot of his reps today. I thought he was great. One of the reps he had against Olu was beautiful. Will McDonald, couple great reps. I thought he was great today against Will McDonald. Really, really good day for Olu. Watched him on a couple plays, just strictly watching him, and he was very, very good. As for Joe Tippmann, you're now turning into a daily Joe Tippmann snap update. It wasn't his best day. I wouldn't say it was worse. There was definitely a couple high snaps. There was one really, really high snap. I would say there's probably 2-3 bad snaps today. Wasn't as bad as yesterday, I would say, where he had a dozen, half a dozen. I didn't see a half a dozen bad snaps. I would probably say about a 2 to 3. However, the bad snaps trickled down the roster today. First team had the bad snap from Tippmann. Second team had a bad snap. Third team had a bad snap. All 3 levels had bad snaps today. So snapping wasn't just an issue for Tippmann today. Everybody had the yips, it felt like, all around the team, which bad snaps certainly don't help the offense in its pursuit of being successful. So that's that. And I also thought Warren, one of the reps I watched Carter Warren in, he had a really nice rep against Michael Clemens, who tried almost everything. Spun, tried to swim move, tried to get around him. Warren was not having any of it. Really good rep by him, all alone there on the edge. So just a couple of things I picked up there from an offensive line perspective. Now, as for the defense, excellent day for them. Defensive line, we'll start there. I mean, it was excellent. A couple guys that had sacks today. Solomon Thomas had a sack. Eric Watts had a sack. Quinnen Williams had a sack. Jalen Holmes blew up a Tariq Cohen run play. Absolutely got right through the line, blew it up. Clemens and McDonald continue to split first team reps. And I'll admit, I think it's okay to be a little concerned about Will McDonald. There was a couple reps I'm watching of him today, and the point that everybody makes and the point that Sal kind of made yesterday about him having to run through guys is a legitimate concern. Legitimate concern watching him not have that ability to run through players, run through the tackle, power them over, outpower them, overpower them. He's just not, he can't. He relies a lot on that spin move. And there was, I would say, a couple plays where he got around, but not much. And it's something to watch for. I mean, Sal's comments yesterday were a little alarming to hear that he's the same weight as he was last year. One of the whole reasons that us Jets fans had some belief in Will McDonald was hoping that he would gain weight and put on more muscle like Jermaine Johnson. And he didn't do that. And you're kind of seeing it. And maybe I'm just being negative because I watched him a little bit more closely today. But, you're still having some of those concerns of if his spin move, his athleticism doesn't take over, he's going to get bullied. He's going to get knocked around. So we'll see how it goes. But him and Clemens continue to split the first team reps, which I still don't love. I still think Will McDonald should be getting most of those. But obviously the Jets want to see Clemens get some first team reps, which I don't necessarily agree with. I don't really know how much value Clemens actually brings from a pass rushing standpoint, but I guess that's what the Jets want to do. And you got to trust him. I always say this defensive coaching staff has to have your benefit of the doubt because they've been top 5 in the NFL the last 2 years. You got to believe that they're cooking up something here with Clemens and McDonald splitting first team reps. Jermaine Johnson has had a couple pressures. I'll tell you what, Jermaine Johnson's been flying around a couple of these plays. It feels like, though, every play that Jermaine Johnson's about to get to Rodgers gets the ball away. I don't know if it's something about Jermaine Johnson that Rodgers can hear him and not anybody else, but there's so many plays where Jermaine Johnson, right as he breaks free and is starting to get to Rodgers throws it away. If this was any other quarterback, let's say this was Zach Wilson, Jermaine Johnson probably would already have maybe 4 sacks this camp, 5 sacks. That's how good he's been. He's had a couple really, really nice reps where he blows through and gets to the backfield. But right as he breaks through, Rodgers gets the ball away. So, regular season games against any quarterback other than Rodgers that doesn't get the ball out that quick, some of these might be sacks. So you're seeing Jermaine win some battles. Clemens and Kinlaw did have a really nice run stop on Braylon Allen. Kinlaw, I thought, had a really good day today. Had a pressure, had a nice run stop. Yesterday had a good day. So Kinlaw stacked up a couple nice days here. And then, like I said, Quinnen blew right through the line, sacked Rodgers. And then Eric Watts had a sack on Tyrod. So his strong camp continues. As for the linebackers, Sherwood had a really nice run stop against Isaiah Davis. I'll tell you what, Jamien Sherwood has been very, very impressive. Very impressive so far in camp. His speed has been present. He's been flying around. His open field tackling has been present. And he's had a couple really nice plays. Couple really, really nice plays. And that was one of them. Just blew up an Isaiah Davis run play. And there's been a couple really positive things to take away from Sherwood. The perfect, I think, third linebacker behind your Mosley-Quincy Williams tandem. He also had a really nice play on Malik Taylor, who ran a slant, and Sherwood was there. Taylor caught it, but he was right there to make the play. So a couple nice plays in coverage, couple nice plays stopping the run, open field tackling, speed. I really feel like through the first week of camp, Sherwood's been definitely a positive, been a bright spot. Zaire Barnes had a pass breakup versus Cohen, thrown from Tyrod. And Chaz Surratt also blew up a Tariq Cohen screen today. So Surratt, Zaire Barnes, Sherwood, like I said, a lot of depth guys on defense came through. Whether it was Eric Watts, Jalen Holmes, Sherwood, Barnes, Surratt, even Stiggers had a couple of nice plays. Jarek Bernard-Converse interception, which leads us right into our corners now. A lot of depth guys stepping up today. Jarek Bernard-Converse had a pick on Tyrod to end practice. So they tried him a lot today. Bernard-Converse had a lot of targets today and ended in a pick. The safety converted the corner, getting a lot of reps, a lot of looks in camp. It seems like the quarterbacks are kind of going after him a little bit. Reed and Sauce both had a couple pass breakups. They were really good today. Stiggers had a pass breakup against Tyler Harrell from Peasley. And there was another pass breakup too, I would say, probably by Stiggers. Stiggers and Key were kind of in coverage. Stiggers cut over and broke it up. So I would say it was more Stiggers, but there was 2 guys in coverage against Irv Charles. It was underthrown. But Stiggers had probably, I would say, 2 pass breakups, DJ Reed, Sauce pass breakups, Jarek Bernard-Converse interception. So all in all, a really good day for the defense, I would say. Defensive line was good, getting pressure, and of course the secondary as well. A couple really nice coverage plays, a couple really nice pass breakups. So all in all, really good day for the defense. Offense struggles again. And they did push-ups, and day number 6 goes to the defense. So we will see what happens at day number 7 tomorrow. Can the offense snap out of this funk and put together a quality practice, get back to what they were doing the first couple of days, or will the defense continue this trend of giving the offense fits? We will see, but we will be back tomorrow with another training camp recap episode. We will also have a player preview episode in the morning. So 2 episodes tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Lots of content coming your way. As always, until next time, appreciate all of you joining me. Thank you for watching. And until then, JETS, 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 Jets.